I get a knock at the door and hear two guys in a suit. I'm from the FBI. The first thing I have to say is, what took you guys so long? I told them the truth. I was going to make my own IED, and I was going to set across the Islamic Center over in a bank's parking lot, and I was going to dial it in and just watch the show.
اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن.
Growing up, I saw a movie and it was Rambo. Rambo was tough, respected. He had intestinal fortitude. I said, that's what I want to do. I went off and joined the Marine Corps. I wanted the action. The first time I got shot at, I remember looking at my watch and I says, man, this time last year I was in English class. I fought several times in the Middle East, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, South America, Philippines, Somalia. I think the worst things that I have seen is dead children. I had to suck it up. I had to be there for my guys. Each one of those teardrops stands for a confirmed kill. I stopped adding after 26. Where I was taught, Marine Corps, just own it and then let it go. But there comes a time when there's too much of that and you can't turn it off anymore.
I want you to give me a window into your state of mind at that time.
One time, my wife and I went to a DSW, and I saw in the distance these two women in black burqas in my store. I cried as I prayed for enough strength to go over there and break both their necks. I was just angry. I was just full of hate, and it just fed off itself. At that point, I was drinking half a gallon of vodka every 2 days. I had devised a plan, create my own IED, homemade bomb, and I was going to set it off right outside the Muncie Islamic Center. 200 plus killed or injured. That was the plan. I saw an opportunity to do one last thing for my country. This was my rationale. I knew I would end up in a federal prison with a needle in my arm. I didn't care my hatred of Islam. It was the only thing that was keeping me alive. So one day my daughter comes home, second grade maybe. She was telling me about this little boy who sat across from her. His mom came to get him. She said she had scarves on her and she had a dress all the way down to her feet and couldn't see her or nothing but her eyeballs. At that point I snapped. Started spewing things out of my mouth that should never be said in front of children or anything. She didn't say anything. It was the look on her face. I remember my daughter looking at me like I was absolutely the craziest person on the face of the earth. She was my little buddy. She used to say we were road dogs. I know I saw it in her eyes. I made her question that love. And that's when a light bulb came on. I decided to give the people of this community one more chance. So I went to the Islamic Center, see a gentleman in the shoe room taking off his shoes. He looks at me and he smiles. He said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I want you to teach me about Islam. So he went and he gave me a Quran. Read this, come back when you have questions. So I did. And I would see things in the book. I'd be like, there it is. I got it right there. Explain that to me. And they would. This was a kind of awakening. Long story short, 8 weeks after that first day I stepped into the Islamic Center, I became a Muslim. I'm a Muslim, a veteran, and a proud American. I had learned that I was completely wrong about everything that I felt. You know, Judaism had a message, Christianity had a message, Islam had a message. Funny thing is, though, it's the same message. It was about peace, and it was about love.
Please join me in welcoming Mr. McKinney.
My big thing is now to stop the hate.
Nothing good has ever come out of hatred.
I've done too many things. I've hurt a lot of people. I have to live with that.
When I first started
Saya memulai membuat geng ketika saya berumur 12 tahun. Geng saya mengambil alih semua pengedar barang haram. Saya pernah ditembak di kepala, dan juga peluru pernah bersarang di tulang rusuk sebelah kiri saya, ditembak di lengan, di belakang leher.
Police have allayed fears of a fifth attempt on gang leader Vince Focorelli's life, arresting him on drug charges and keeping him in custody.
After surviving the fourth attempt on his life, frustrating police.
He doesn't want any support from the police at this stage, and so there's very little we can do without his.
Vince Focorelli may be a marked man. The son of a Mikey leader has been killed and his father...
6 kali saya coba dibunuh, namun yang menjadi korban malah anak saya, Giovanni. Ini memberikan efek besar dalam kehidupan saya. Ketika Giovanni berada di depan mobil, pembunuh itu menembak dia, saya tarik Giovanni ke dalam mobil, pembunuh itu menembak saya 4 kali. Saya menjalankan mobil secepat yang saya bisa, namun Giovanni sudah terkena tembak, saya ingat darahnya keluar begitu banyak, dia mulai tak sadar. Terlihat mulutnya mengeluarkan buih bercampur darah. Apa yang saya bisa katakan cuma, la ilaha illallah. Dan saya minta pada Allah, maafkan saya minta pada Allah untuk menerima semua doa saya untuk dia, anakku.
I asked Allah to accept my la ilaha illallah for him because he couldn't say it. And he didn't say it.
Kemudian polisi menahan dan memasukkan saya ke dalam penjara. Yang paling berat adalah, saya hanya bisa melihat jenazah anak saya lewat televisi. Saya melihat mereka membawa jenazah anak saya dari dalam penjara, tak mampu menemaninya. Saya tak pernah melihat Giovanni berlaku kasar kepada ibunya, dia sangat menyayangi ibunya. Anak muda ini penuh kasih sayang dan hormat pada ibunya. Saya tak pernah menemui orang setia, disiplin dan berani seperti dia. Saya merasa bangga bisa menjadi bagian dari kehidupannya. Celakanya Giovanni bersama saya waktu kejadian itu. Namun itu semua sudah atas kehendak Allah.
This young man had for his mother, but I've never met anyone so loyal, so disciplined, and so fearless. Remember, he died to protect his father. I was very privileged to be part of his life. I want to say, unfortunately, my stepson Johnny was with me, but I'm going to say, fortunately, he was there because Allah chose him to be there at that time.
Islam ibarat cahaya yang menariknya keluar dari kegelapan dan telah mengubah hidupnya.
Allah chose me.
Allah memberikan hidayah pada saat yang tepat. Kami lakukan pesta, sedang mabuk dengan narkolor dan minuman, mereka mulai bercerita tentang Rasulullah SAW. Tapi yang menjadi perhatian saya ialah, apabila mereka berbicara tentang Nabi Isa AS, saya pun tahu, sebagai penganut Roman Katolik dia adalah Raja dan Tuhan kami, apabila mereka bercanda tentangnya. Saya merasa seperti, apa yang kau tahu tentang Yesus Kristus? Apa maksudmu? Dia adalah Nabi kami. Semakin mereka bercerita semakin saya tertarik sampai seperti anak kecil yang melihat acara TV kesukaannya. Seperti ini. Saya kagum dan yakin bahwa Islam adalah agama yang sebenarnya, sangat suci dan sangat indah bagi kita. Saya merasakan kebebasan dan ketenangan. Allah bawa ketenangan itu ke dalam hati saya langsung bersyahadat pada waktu itu juga. Dan hidayah datang pada waktu itu. Niat saya ikhlas, saya sadar hubungan pribadi saya, tangisan itu hanya untuk Allah. Saya tahu saya berdosa, apakah Allah akan mengampuni dosa saya? Ya saya yakin itu, kalau saya tak percaya, kenapa saya mau masuk Islam? Allah Maha Penyayang, Maha Mengasihi, Maha Pengampun, meninggalkan sejarah yang begitu kelam, saya menapaki kehidupan baru dalam kehidupan saya, dengan menemani dan berbakti kepada ibu saya. Kerja saya sekarang hanya menjaga ibu saya, karena dia memerlukan 24 jam perhatian saya. Dia tak bisa berjalan karena didiagnosa kanker. Stadium 4. Tolong doakan dia. Saya juga mengajar bela diri privat, untuk menjaga diri. Saya suka lihat singa kecil yang menyertai. Saya mengajar mereka untuk menjaga diri, keyakinan, rendah diri, dan kehormatan dirinya. Bukan untuk mereka tapi untuk anak-anak lainnya.
Remember that this will affect you, your family, your business.
اللهم